It's rollomiles, your Green Party candidate for Hammersmith. I just want to talk to you a bit about why I'm standing for the Green Party. Now, first of all, I believe in politics, and I believe that you can make a difference. But you have to be involved in the system, you have to stand up, you have to get elected. I could have easily chosen to stand for the Conservative, Liberal Democrats or Labour Party, one of the main three parties, and we'll probably have a bigger chance of getting elected because people tend to vote for one of the three parties. However, they just didn't work for me. I didn't believe in them. And why don't I believe in them? Well, we've all seen what's been happening recently. We've all been listening to the stories of greed, corruption, and even if the whole MP scandal didn't come out, I still have a major problem with the three main parties. I mean, they are just the same. They're very central parties, and they just seem to say, come up with soundbite ideas and policies to suit the mood of the day, and don't really try and explore and think of the problems of the future. Now, the Green Party, at its core, has a green policy, an environmental policy, a policy that affects every single one of us. We all live on the planet Earth, and we have to respect the planet Earth. I don't want you to think that I'm a kind of green bashing person who's all here to save the planet. Obviously, that is at my core. But the Green Party has other policies. They have social policies. They have policies to deal with the elderly, policies to deal with the economy, policies to deal with war and peace. But all this is good, but if global warming takes over, and the seas rise, and there's more earthquakes, more flooding, more storms, crop failure, bigger population, there is absolutely no point in having a policy for the elderly, or policy for education, or policy for the environment, or policy for firemen and policemen, because it will just be chaos. Society will collapse. And that is why one of the main reasons I'm a Green, because I want to think about the future. I have 2 young children, and I care about what's going to happen to them when they're old, what's going to happen to their children and to their children. It's not just about the immediate, it's not just about tomorrow, it's about the long term. 12 years ago, I voted Labour. I voted for Blair. It was a new beginning, and I really believed that after the corruption of the Tories, they needed to come in and kind of a wind of change, and then sweep the nation, and a new beginning, a new dawn to be set. I was wrong. 12 years later, nothing has changed. A few good policies, to do with short staff areas, nursery places, but big key issues, issues such as the environment, we just have not made progress. We're still emitting far too much carbon dioxide, we're still using far too much fossil fuels, and we're all, as a society, consuming far too much and not thinking of tomorrow. The Green Party does think about tomorrow. Simple ideas like more allotments, kitchen gardens, and renewable energy. Now, renewable energy is an interesting one because, petrol will run out, coal will run out, gas will run out. There's a nuclear solution, but what is the cost of the nuclear solution? What about an accident, the pollution it could involve, and what about storing the waste disposal? And as a society, if we want to be, a nuclear-free society, free of nuclear arms, we just have to stop thinking nuclear. However, there is a different way. There is the renewable way. Solar, wind, and hydro. These three on their own are very simple solutions. So in cities, I look around. I'm standing for the seat of Hammersmith. I see flat roofs everywhere. Why haven't all these flat roofs got solar panels on? You look at houses, they've all got these satellite dishes on them. Why don't they have mini wind turbines? You look at the River Thames, you look at underground rivers in London, at weirs. at disused mills. Why haven't we harnessed all this natural energy? What's been happening for the last 10 years? And that's, one of my key points. The next election, you might think it's a straight fight between the Tories and Labour. Well, it's not. Parliament needs smaller parties to be involved. We're the only people who can hold these people to account. You can press them for the urgent action. You can remind them of the environmental catastrophe that is ahead and what needs to be done. All these people object to wind farms around their houses because they think they blight their site and the immediate surroundings. But if we don't do something soon, those immediate surroundings will not exist. And that is what the Green Party is here for, to fight for renewable energy, to fight for the conservation of the planet, to fight for a new way, to come up with different ideas, bold ideas, and to hold the other parties to account and represent all those people who haven't voted for them. If you look at what the Labour government is elected on, well, if you take how many people actually voted, how many people voted for another party, how many people actually voted for the Labour Party, they're probably elected on 20 to 30% of the vote. That means out there's 80 to 70% of people who voted against them or for another party. I don't call this fairness. So I will be standing to fight for the new seat of Hammersmith at the next election. If you just want the same, vote Green. No, sorry, I'm wrong. If you don't want the same, vote Green. If you want the same boring politics, the middle ground, nothing new, just plodding along day by day, then Labour, Conservative, Liberals are for you. However, if you're fed up with these parties, if you think they've been lying to you, if you think they've been deceiving you, if you think they haven't actually done anything, you have a choice. And at the next election, vote for the Green Party. Vote for me. I'm a Londoner. I was born in London. I work in London. I know London. I know the problems Londoners face. I commute, I travel, I bring up my family in London, and it's time that people who represent people get to Parliament and represent you. So on your ballot box, when you see the name rollomiles, please tick the box. Thank you very much.